Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Grow Your Business with AI-powered tools. I'm Rebecca Chauncey, a business advisor here at the Illinois Small Business Development Center, or SBDC at Build Bronzeville. So pleased to have you join us today. This training is brought to you at no cost because it's funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the United States Small Business Administration, or the US SBA, and then the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and the Urban Juncture Foundation. Please note that we have listened to me very closely. So one, if you have questions today, you should type those in the Q&A section, which you could see if you hover your mouse over the bottom of your screen. And if you are responding to our presenters' questions or saying something briefly in agreement with what you hear, you can type that in the chat. So again, questions all go in Q&A, but some quick responses, that's what you can add in the chat. And questions will be addressed if relevant in the moment. But there will also be time at the end of the presentations for questions as well. And so without further ado, I am so happy to pass the mic over to our presenter. We're happy to have CJ Harris, an Illinois Google digital coach. She's presented with us before, and some of you may recall past presentations she's given just this year. So we're honored to have her again so you can learn how to grow your business with AI-powered tools.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all so much for joining today's presentation, Grow Your Business with AI-powered tools. And we'll just dive right in. So let's see. So yes, as Rebecca mentioned, I'm CJ Harris. I'm the Illinois Digital Coach for the Grow with Google program, which is a program that is dedicated to helping see businesses to grow and thrive online. I am also the CEO and creative director of That's So Creative Media, which is a full-service creative marketing agency. And so that means that I am a small business owner just like you, in the trenches, making things work for my business as well. So definitely happy to share from that perspective as well. I've been in business now for, over 8 years now, full time. So definitely happy to share whatever insight I can. And so let's dive in. So AI is the next big shift. Now, we've come a long way since search, right? So if you remember your first search, definitely, drop a one in the chat if you remember that first search experience. And today we are experiencing the next big shift, which is artificial intelligence, or AI. And with AI, anything that you can imagine, you can create. You can turn text into beautiful imagery, video, or music. You can talk to your data to gain valuable insights, and you can accelerate your productivity, and you can interact with customers in more natural ways. And AI is also being used to help tackle big challenges. And using AI-powered tools, we can address issues that we face in society today. And I want to share one small business owner, for example. So if you struggle with public speaking, right, I would say public speaking is not my first language, even though I do it like every day. But if you struggle with public speaking, Nico Aguilar is the creator of an AI speech-powered app called Speako. And he noticed that he was having some trouble with speaking. He needed to overcome his anxiety, so he actually hired a coach. But he realized that he wasn't able, or that other people aren't able to necessarily do that as well. So he created an app. And so this is an AI-powered app which gives you exercises on how to practice your tone, helps you with filler words, helps you with nudges to slow down. And so the company is actually using Gemini, which is an AI platform, to create and update more than 400 of its exercises. And today, Spico has over 300,000 registered users. So this is just one example of how people are using AI. And another example that you may be familiar with is, of course, again, put a one in the chat if you resonate with this. If you spent a good chunk of time trying to figure out what to watch on TV, right? Or what to watch on your next YouTube video. Now, YouTube with AI, it uses AI to help you to help learn your preferences, right? And it helps to detect patterns and suggest what you may want to watch next. So we may not have realized that that's AI that is powering your YouTube suggestions, right? And again, this is an interactive presentation, so definitely feel free to chime in, say, yeah, that's me, no, it's not. Also, I just want to pause really quick too. Would love to get a knowledge about who's in the room. Um, feel free to drop your business in the chat as well and how long you've been in business. All right. And so I do want to take a moment also to share another business that is using AI to transform their business. And so while AI integrations have been used to improve Google's products for more than 7 years, the next big shift is using the power of generative AI. And the power of generative AI can definitely accelerate your business. So I want to take a look at a business who is using this technology in their business.
We're very vibrant and colorful people. I wanted to bring that into my beauty brand. Turquoise and your yellows and your reds and your dusk, sunset, sunrise colors. Growing up Chicana and indigenous culture tradition was the center of everything that we did and we do still to this day. I'm Cece, and I'm the founder and CEO of Prada's Beauty. Now she glows to the gods. When I was 27, I went to cosmetology school, and I was working backstage at New York Fashion Week. I was in the hub of the makeup world, but no one looked like me. I was tired of being unseen. I have daughters who are also indigenous, and I don't ever want them to feel how I felt in that moment. So I started Prada's Beauty in my daughter's nursery. When she would take naps, I would work in there and just start doodling and creating things. But not having a business background, I needed to research and really learn about what I was doing. I started going to the University of Google, as we call it. June of 2019, I launched my website. And then a few years later, I took part in our Grow with Google event. When I first learned about AI, I was like, oh my gosh, like robots are going to take over the world. But this gave me the opportunity to learn about AI, specifically Gemini from Google. I thought this could help my business in a big, big way. So I used Gemini to learn about things like what SEO is and what keywords are important to my brand specifically. But I also use it for creative, fun stuff. Help me write a social media post using this image. Make it fun and trendy. Oh, how cute. Also, things like packaging ideas. I can take those ideas to my team and say, hey, this is an idea, but I want to tweak it a little bit. Something that would take me all day or even 2 days to do, I can do it, in an hour. It's very helpful for me in my business.
Hi, I'm Cece Meadows, and I'm going to be doing a orange minimalistic look.
For me, makeup is more than just something that you put on your face. I take this pretty light blue. It allows the world to see you how you want to be seen. And forget the lip gloss. I always give credit to my Prados. I love them. To create something that helps someone feel and look beautiful. It's not just an honor for me to be able to do it, but to do it in a way that pays homage and respect to those that came before me. I think that that is a big driver of why Browse has been successful in this space.
Right. So that was really inspiring. And hopefully it's sparking some ideas. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, hopefully it's sparking some ideas for you for things that you can do within your business. In our agenda for today, we're going to dive into what AI is. We're going to talk about how Google AI can help make your business even more productive. And before I start, I just want to say, I know some people may have some concerns about AI, but remember that you are not competing against AI. You are competing against the businesses who are already using it. Okay. So let's keep that in mind as we go forward. So what exactly is artificial intelligence? Essentially, AI describes a computer program that can complete cognitive tasks that are typically associated with human intelligence. Okay. And with technologies like large language models or LLMs, which are used as the foundations to create AI models that can actually create new content. And so that leads me to generative AI or Gen AI. Now, Gen AI is a specific form of AI that focuses on creating content based on examples that it's been trained on. Gen AI models are trained on massive amounts of data, which allows them to learn the patterns and the relationships that are necessary to generate content, including text, images, video, code, and music. And so this technology is still under development and it's literally changing every day. And as AI develops, we will most likely see it more and more in our daily lives. In fact, you're probably already using AI. If you use a voice assistant like Google Assistant, then you are using AI. AI helps these tools to understand voice commands. And as I mentioned earlier, it also recommends what to watch next on streaming platforms. Also, your bank may preemptively use AI to stop fraudulent charges, and AI powers a lot of the features that you know, such as using chatbots on the website or product recommendations. So again, all of that is powered by AI. And so now that we have a better understanding of AI, let's understand the ways in which Google tools or Google AI tools can help make your business more productive. Now, one caveat I do want to share is that some of the features in today's workshop may or may not be available to you. And these tools are being changed rapidly. So they may look different from a week from now, within hours or even minutes of this workshop, all right? Now, it can be helpful, again, to understand these tools by framing it around a small business. And so we saw earlier in the video with CC Meadows, the CEO of Prados Beauty. She sells high quality beauty tools, cosmetics, and accessories. And how many of you can relate that business starts with humble beginnings? So as the video shared, she started her business in her daughter's nursery, right? She saw a need in the marketplace and she created a product to help fill that gap, to fill a need. She herself was a cancer survivor and she realized there was a gap in the market for products that cater to people going through chemotherapy. So she filled that need. And 5 years later, Prados Beauty, her products are sold in her New Mexico store, they're sold online, and by a major department store. And so Cece is using AI to help grow her business even faster. So let's take a look at how these tools can help your business as well. Now, the first tip we want to dive into is how can you jumpstart your research projects? So, for instance, how might CC explore new ideas quickly? She would start with a Google search. Now, I know that that does not sound like new information, like, well, I'm always on Google, right? Well, you may have noticed some upgrades. So Google search has now been supercharged with a new update called AI overviews. Now you may not see AI overviews in every search, and they can appear when the system determines that generative AI will be especially helpful. For instance, if you want to understand information quickly from a range of sources. It can also help you to find what you're looking for faster by using AI generated snapshots with key information and links to dig deeper. Now, Google search is gradually making these AI overviews available to more users and in more languages. And with AI overviews, eventually you'll be able to ask complex questions, break down concepts into useful information, different formats, and more. And so this is just the beginning of AI overviews capabilities. Any questions before I continue? I want to make sure I'm not losing anyone with some of the terminology.
Not yet.
All right, well, definitely feel free to use the Q&A to ask questions. And so AI Overviews also has been publicly available since May 2004, but people had already been using it billions of times through Google Labs, which allows people to try out experimental features and leave feedback for Google developers. And so if you do want to try out some of the Gen AI capabilities in search, go ahead and visit Labs. You can go to g.co/labs to be one of the first people to try out their new features. All right, so how might CC or you use Google AI to brainstorm new ideas and spark your team's creativity? Now that leads me to the next topic, which is Gemini. And this is Google's most capable family of AI models to date. It was introduced in December 2023. And you may have heard me talk about the Gemini model in search, but what exactly is it? Now, Gemini is not a single AI tool and is more than just a family of AI models. A better way to describe it is like an ecosystem that brings together all of the AI models and Google's products. And it includes the APIs and platforms that help developers and businesses to innovate. So think of Gemini ecosystem like a power grid. So, a power grid supplies electricity to homes, cities, and businesses and appliances within it. Gemini supplies the technology that powers the AI models, tools, and computer programs that depend on them. And collectively, Gemini represents one of Google's biggest science and engineering efforts. And so Gemini AI models work behind the scenes. Again, they power a lot of Google's products, but you or like someone like Cece could access it via a conversational tool, a standalone tool. And to try it out, you can go to gemini.google.com. And if you're using an Android device, you can just simply download the Gemini app, or iOS users can access Gemini through the Google app. And so this technology is built for multimodality. Now, it was a mouthful. What does that mean? It means that this platform can provide or perform advanced reasoning tasks across different mediums like text and images, video, and code. This tool has been specifically fine-tuned to be especially capable at things like understanding, summarizing, reasoning, coding, and planning. Okay. And Gemini is publicly available in over 230 countries and in more than 40 languages. And this tool is evolving, every day. But some of the capabilities include pulling information from Google apps and services, such as Google Workspace, YouTube, and Maps, creating images. You can use it to publicly share work with one-click exporting to Google Workspace Docs or apps like Docs, Sheets, and Gmail. And it can provide coding help in over 20 programming languages for all levels of programming. And it can generate and export code, debug code, and explain how code works. Now, one caveat I do want to say, make sure you test all code for vulnerabilities and bugs, okay? Now let's dive into a little bit how to use Gemini. So you will need to enter a prompt. So think of a prompt as a conversation starter, and you will want to try different approaches to see which output gets the result that you want, which input gets the output that you want. And so here are the 5 components of how to create a high quality prompt. So first, you want to include a persona, and this helps the chatbot to adopt an appropriate role. For example, you may say, act as a sales manager of a large team of people. Second, you want to include a task. So you want to describe what you want the chatbot to do in detail using clear and direct language. And if it's a complex task, you want to break it down into smaller steps. So I always, I use it to help me with presentations and proposals, things like that. I won't just feed it. I want to say, write me a presentation on X, Y, and Z. I may give it the first part of the presentation, and then the second part, and then the third part. Then I may say, add something here, or, create a chart from this data, things like that. Next, you want to describe your audience. And so this will help you to tailor the output. So for example, your audience may be homeowners, college students, corporate executives. Number 4, you want to also provide it with context. And so these are the facts and the circumstances that can help the chatbot to understand what you want to do. So give it some context, tell it about the history of your audience, maybe some conversations you may have had, or maybe there's a certain outcome that you want, or maybe there's a time period that you need to include in there. Maybe there's, different parameters and due dates, things like that. You can also give it constraints. So for example, you may say, I'm creating a proposal for a potential client who needs a website, but it will not include copywriting. So instead of it just spitting out the proposal, you can give it those constraints of what not to include. One caveat, do not share like sensitive information with the chatbot. And fifth and final, you want to describe the format and the tone that you want. So you may want the output in a table, or maybe you want it in a bulleted list, or perhaps you want it written in a formal or an informal tone. One of the things I like to say a lot is, make it sound casual, or make it relatable, make it personable, things like that. The more outputs that you give it, the more inputs that you give it, the better chances you have for Gemini to improve. So don't just take the first response. If you don't like it, tweak it and try again until you get the response that you're looking for. Also, at the top, you will see a link labeled View Other Drafts. And you can see variations. Gemini delivers up to 3 variations, and you may find useful bits of information in each one of those. Any questions so far? Oh, I see a hand raised.
Are you okay with them asking the question aloud now, or should we
Yep.
table that? It's okay.
Yep, can go
Okay.
up chat.
You can unmute yourself, Sam, and ask your question. Sam, you can ask your question.
Oh, you want to read it, Rebecca? I think you put it in the chat.
Yes. Okay. It says, are there any more components to consider for the prompts?
In terms of context, yeah. And so I would say as much context as you can give it, the better. So, aside from, the audience, maybe you can describe more of the demographics of the audience. You can provide just, like I said, just as much detail as possible as far as the outcome that you wanted. So again, it's conversational, right? And so I'm going to put that in the next slide. Let me see. So again, it's conversational, right? So think about if you were trying to describe to one of your employees or team members or a colleague, you wanted them to write a particular proposal or, whatever it is, you're going to give them as much detail as possible, right? And if they give you something back that you don't like, you're like, oh, I didn't like this. Can you make it more this? Or can you change it to this? Like, you can talk to the AI chatbot the same way that you would do a human being. And it, like I said, is capable of reasoning and understanding. So again, the more context you give it, the more details you feed it. Another thing I would say is giving it examples as well. So even like with my team of humans, as a creative director, I will oftentimes look for other examples of what I'm looking for, so that just it cuts out the guesswork. So I don't have time. Sometimes I lose patience. So I'm like, all right, this is what I want. This is how this design needs to look. Here are some examples. Now, of course, I don't want them to just copy someone else's work, but I'm like, here's a nice range of examples to give you an idea of what I'm looking for, so that we have a better chance of getting the outcome that I want. So I would suggest doing the same thing as well with the AI chatbot. So if you have some samples of writing or samples of images, things like that, you can actually feed it that information as well. So hopefully that answers. Yeah, awesome. So again, use your imagination. You can try other prompts to help boost your productivity. Just a few notes in I've got like all these little windows open, because I usually don't have someone like Rebecca helping me monitor like the chat and everything. So I got like all these windows in the way. All right. Give me 1 second. All right, so just a couple notes about using Gemini and other AI tools responsibly. Just note that Gemini may display inaccurate info, so always review the input or the output. And then some other tips: you want to test your prompts on topics that you are familiar with and check the sources and verify the output. You want to be accurate, so avoid using a false premise. So for instance, if CC were to say, write a blog post saying that Prado's Beauty is the only makeup store in New Mexico, that is just simply not true, okay? You also want to be transparent about your use of AI. Tell your audience and anyone that it may affect what type of tool you use. Don't just copy and paste the outputs. As I shared before, don't just, copy and paste, what is being presented and pass it off as your own work. Also consider the effects. Ask yourself, if I use AI for this particular task, will it hurt anyone? Does it reinforce or uphold any unfair biases? So I'm not sure, let's see how much time we have, but if you want to try it out.
We have 30 more minutes.
Okay. So let's try it out. Open a browser window in your Chrome. Hopefully you have Chrome. And even if you don't have Chrome, that's okay. But just open a browser window, go to gemini.google.com. And if this is your first time using it, you will need to agree to the terms and conditions. And you want to enter a prompt and type in your question and click return. If you need an idea of what to type, you could say something like, I am the owner of a beauty shop that has a physical location and online store. Draft 2 separate informal thank you note templates for customers placing orders both on my website and in person. Okay. And then click enter or return and see what results you get. So I'll give you a couple moments to try that out. So again, the prompt is, I am the owner of a beauty shop that has a physical location and an online store. Draft 2 separate informal thank you note templates for customers placing orders on my website and in person. And so as you're evaluating this, you want to ask yourself, do I like what I see? You can also ask Gemini to modify the response by clicking the slider icon and choosing another writing style. And you can build on this conversation. So you may add some additional context. You may say the customer bought a Prados Beauty eyeshadow palette, and then click return and see what the response is then. So again, you can build on these conversations. You can start off with a simple prompt, see what it says, like, okay, let me give it some more context. Let me give it some more information. Gemini will add those details to the new answer. And you can continue to tweak this as much as you like. And then once you have a letter that you like, you can click the share and export icon, and you can save it directly to Gmail, Google Docs, or a web page that can be shared. And then of course, to start a new conversation, you just click new chat at the top left. So let me know if you are trying it out and if you have any questions about prompting. Okay, no questions? Well, definitely if you think of something, we can always come back. All right. So let's talk a little bit now about how you can use AI to help boost your efficiency when you are using Google's productivity tools like Docs, Sheets, Slides, or Gmail. Now, Gmail uses AI to be more helpful across a wide range of tasks, from managing incoming messages to helping you write replies. And I do want to note that there are different versions of these productivity tools. There is a consumer version, a free version, and there is a professional version called Google Workspace. And today I'm going to highlight some of the features that are available in both. And so have you all noticed that when you are reading an email in Gmail, it may suggest a snappy reply? Okay. That is AI in action again, and this feature is called Smart Reply, and it can help you to be more efficient as you're sending out these emails, and you can reply in seconds. So for example, if CC receives a question from a customer and they're asking, do you have the Matriarch Bronzer Quad in stock at the store? Gmail might offer up a one-click response like, yes, we do, or no, we do not. So feel free to type in the chat, drop a one in the chat if you're already using Smart Reply for your email messages. Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry. I know you guys see the chat going across the screen there. Awesome. Awesome. Some of you are already using that. Great. All right, so let's highlight a few more AI features in Gmail. So you may have also noticed the tabbed inbox, and it can help you organize your email. And so it classifies and automatically sorts them into tabs like primary, promotions, social, updates, and forums. And if the message appears in one tab that really belongs in a different tab, you can just simply drag that email from one tab to the next, and this will begin to train the model on your personal preferences. AI also uses summary cards to display information at the top of certain types of emails, and it looks for data in those inbound messages and displays highlights. And those highlights will be at the top of the message, and it could contain information like travel and shopping confirmations, hotel bookings, restaurant reservations for ticketed events like concerts, Google Calendar invites. Another cool thing I really like is that in calendar invites, you can actually change your response right from that card, and you can see what other events you have for the day. Another one of my favorite tools in Gmail is the nudging feature. So I don't know if y'all have noticed that one as well, but nudging reminds you to follow up on emails. And so it is the first Gmail AI feature that runs on both inbound and outbound messages. And so nudging will detect which emails you haven't replied to and predicts which ones you normally answer. After a few days, it will automatically bring those unanswered messages to the top of your inbox with a polite nudge to reply. It also works the other way. So if you send out an email to someone and they don't get back to you, it'll bring that email back up to the top of your inbox and ask you, do you want to send a follow-up? So that is really helpful, especially as a business owner. And so if your business uses Google Workspace, there is an optional paid add-on called Gemini for Google Workspace, and it provides a suite of generative AI features that work across your connected apps. This is a paid feature, but you can learn more about it at workspace.google.com/solutions/AI. Let's see, Sam says, where do I find these in settings? So in your settings, you can actually go to settings. There are settings for like smart replies, smart compose, all of that's in settings. So if you see, I'm trying to think where it is exactly. Let me see, let me go back. Yep, so if you see this slide right here, there's like a little gear icon at the top right. That's your settings. So most of what I'm talking about today, you should be able to turn it on and off in your Gmail if you don't see it. Awesome. And so I want to call on my friend Mark Cuban really quickly to show you all how they are using some of these features.
I get 1,000 emails a day. And when I saw Smart Reply for the first time, let me just tell you, it was top 20 happy days of my life. Data drives everything. And so for a big company, small company, medium-sized company, you want something that's fully integrated, talks to each other, and learns as it goes. And that's the beauty of Gemini Google Workspace. For the pharmaceutical industry, the two things that were missing were one, transparency, and two, trust. And that's really the overall mission of Cost Plus Drugs. Simplify and transparency and be fair. So you know exactly what you're paying for and why. We were able to create a company that changed the entire pharmaceutical industry. With Google Meet, we can have a real-time conversation with multiple people in multiple countries, and it's translating for us in real time.
안녕하세요. 회의에 참석해 주셔서 감사드립니다.
It just makes it easy for any individual to manage their data life, if you will, and to connect to everybody else that you work with, whether it's chat, me, email. It can learn and save so much time that the whole definition of productivity changes. That's Google Workspace. From my perspective, there are two types of companies, those who are great at AI and everybody else.
Okay. So hopefully you're getting some really good insight and some ideas on how you can use tools like Gemini in Google Workspace and how it integrates across your entire Google Workspace. All right, so we have covered a lot of ground so far, but I want to touch on a few more ways that AI can help make Google's products even more helpful. And so some of you all today may be using Google Ads to advertise your products and services online. And if you are an advertiser, you may have noticed a conversational experience available when you're creating search campaigns. And this is designed to help you build better search campaigns through chat. And you can use this conversational experience to help you with creating new search ad headlines and descriptions, generating relevant keywords, suggesting images and site links. You can look into this more at g.co/grow/search ads. Okay. Now, I want to dive into another way that AI is helping advertisers to power campaigns, and that is through Performance Max. Now, Performance Max campaigns drive performance based on conversion goals using the power of AI to optimize performance in real time, okay? This campaign type produces and runs ads across the entire ads inventory, including channels like YouTube, Display, Search, Discover, Gmail, and Maps. And this all happens from a single campaign within your set budget. And it can also help with asset creation using Gen AI to create multiple text and image assets. Okay. And so most retailers advertising with Google are already using Performance Max and seeing great results. And even beyond retail, advertisers who adopt Performance Max see an average of 27% conversion value, more conversion value at a similar cost per action or return on ad spend. So again, Performance Max, pretty powerful. Okay. So it's creating image assets and text assets in real time and delivering those ads across Google's entire inventory. And so Google AI is also used to improve a tool called Merchant Center Next. And this is a no-cost tool that allows retailers to list their products on Google Shopping ad results. So Merchant Center Next users can also access a free product tool called Product Studio. And it's AI-powered tools that create high-quality product images. So with Product Studio, you can save time and money and resources by customizing your product images. This tool can generate scenes, increase image resolution, and edit backgrounds. And so, for example, let's say if Cece is selling her products and she wants to refresh her products for the holidays or seasons or sales, maybe she wants to change all the backgrounds of her products to pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. She can do that easily right from within Product Studio. Now, we'll say that this product is still experimental, but definitely be on the lookout for features like style-aligned assets, where you can upload an image reference to help the Google AI to understand your style. You can also eventually do image to video, which can then create a product video from an image. And it can save you time by saving your new images. And when they save it, it automatically sends it out across the wide range of Google platforms, including search results, shopping ads, Performance Max campaigns, and everywhere that utilizes feed data. Right? Any questions so far? Okay. So last but not least, AI also helps to improve analytics. So for anyone who doesn't know what Google Analytics is or isn't familiar with it, it is a platform that collects data from your websites and apps in order to create reports to help you understand customer behavior. And many of the small businesses who are using it use it to monitor traffic, explore trends, and understand their visitors. Google Analytics also uses machine learning to identify different patterns, and it can help you to find what you're looking for using a feature called Analytics Intelligence. Now, these are automated insights that will surface when machine learning detects unusual changes or emerging trends in your data. So for example, in Cece's case, she may use Google Analytics Insights to know if there is an unusual change in the number of Prado's Beauty visitors to her website, and then she can investigate what might be happening. Now, every time Cece interacts with her data or with her insights, Analytics Intelligence learns more about what information matters to her, and then it can surface those insights accordingly. So if you want to learn more, definitely check out Google Analytics at g.co/analytics. And we have a few more minutes. I just want to make sure I'm not losing anyone. Let me know if we have any questions.
Not at this time.
Awesome. So I want to share a few additional resources with you. And so I'm excited to share too that this training is also available on demand for free. And you can freshen up if there's something I said, you want to go back to it. Obviously, it's also being recorded by Build Bronzeville. But you can go to g.co/grow/AI for SMBs. And for those of you who may be looking for more training for yourself or your employees, definitely check out the Google AI Essentials course by Coursera. And with the Google AI Essentials course, AI experts from Google are working with the technology, and they will explain to you in just under 10 hours how to use AI through videos, readings, interactive exercises. You'll learn how to use generative AI tools, create prompts, use AI responsibly, select the right AI tools for you. This is a self-paced course and it's accessible for everyone and designed to fit into busy schedules. So you don't actually need any technical experience to begin, and it can be applied to a variety of roles and industries. You will also earn a certificate that you can share with your network. So definitely check that out at grow.google/AI essentials. And then there are some additional learning opportunities as well. So if you're looking to upskill yourself, your employees, definitely check out Google Career Certificates. It's helping thousands of businesses to grow in high demand fields like data analytics, digital marketing, IT, and more. So definitely check that out at grow.google/certificates. And I want to share this slide with you here. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. These are all of the products and resources that I covered today. All right. And so I want to close with one final AI product. So just for a little bit of fun, I don't know if you've heard of the AI Test Kitchen, but you can check it out. Visit aitestkitchen.withgoogle.com. And if this is your first visit, of course, you will need to agree to the terms and conditions. AI Test Kitchen is a place where you can experiment with Gen AI, get creative with images, music, and text. Video is coming soon. Now with Image AI, you can generate your own synthetic images. Image FX lets you to generate your own images. Music FX allows you to generate your own music. So now, you don't have to necessarily deal with trying to find the right music for some of your creative content. You can actually create your own. And then Text FX allows you to generate creative text and language. Now, I love playing around with this. I love cats. So I was playing around with, create an image of a cat relaxing in a pool, wearing sunglasses, drinking a margarita, right? So really cool, fun stuff like that. Definitely check that out. And that's all we have for today. Again, I will be around if you have any questions. Thank you all so much. If you wouldn't mind just, scanning the QR code, let us know what you think of the presentation. We're always looking for feedback. Awesome. Let me know too in the chat, what type of things are you going to try as a result of today's workshop? I always want to know, like, what action steps are you going to take? What new products are you going to try? If you're already using AI, what new things are you going to do now or try with your business? Am I available to come to SBDC for mentoring? I myself cannot go, but there are a ton of coaches at the Illinois SBDC Build Bronzeville. You can also reach out to me if you have more questions about Google products, Google services, and business support. I could definitely help you there. So, my information is in this slide here. So definitely reach out to me if you want some more coaching. Awesome. So I'm looking, Patrina says, I will sharpen my inputs. And the last slide with generating my own images and music. Awesome. Joaquin, I will try Gemini. Yes, please try Gemini. I know there's a lot of apps on the market, but definitely give Gemini a try. I know it used to be called Bard, and that was Google's first iteration with its conversational AI tool. But Gemini, as I mentioned in the presentation, is so much more than just a conversational tool or a standalone AI model. It really does power all of Google's products and services. And Sam says, I do have a question about BP certification. That would be a Rebecca question for sure. All right.
Thanks, CJ. So well, first, let's thank CJ for a great opportunity to connect and learn about AI and just a wealth of tools that were shared today. And it was great to see how you plan to apply those things. As far as the question that I think it was Sam asked about BEP certification, you can sign up to become a client. I can talk to you more about what it is what your business is and what you're looking to do. So if you're already a client, then that will be, that'll be easy for me to see, and I can set up time to connect with you. But would you put the last slide up again, please, CJ?
Okay, sure thing. Give me 1 second. I lost my slide.
There is no cost to become a client. Some of you are already clients of the Illinois SBDC at Build Bronzeville, and we so appreciate you. And you could set up as long as you have a for-profit business. Let me make sure I clarify that. As long as you have a for-profit business, we can assist you due to our reporting requirements. But essentially, the same way you signed up to become or attend rather this training, if you're not already a client, you can become a client that way. I will look for your specific. I'll look your name. I'll look for your name, excuse me, Sam, and see how to best move forward. But again, we want to thank you all for joining us today. And you'll get a recording, you'll get a link of this recording later, as well as a survey. If you, again, were not already a client, you can sign up or connect with us multiple ways is listed there, but you ultimately do have to sign up to become a client through the website. And as you can see, and CJ already mentioned how you can connect with her a number of ways. So that certainly is appreciated. We thank you again for your time and attention. Like I said, stay tuned for that follow-up email, which will have a link to this recording and a survey. We appreciate your insight and recommendations for future training. It helps us to provide the best training so entrepreneurs like you can thrive. Thanks again, CJ. We appreciate you, and everyone continue to have a great day and week.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Take care. Have a great week.